I'm Michael Diamond. This is Muscle Central. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment. Okay, the 2024 Arnold Classic Ohio is in the books. The final results for the Open Division, as expected by many. Hadi takes first place, second place Samson Dowd, third place Rafael Brandau, fourth place Jonathan De La Rosa, fifth place James Hollingshead, is sixth place Hakeem Williams. Hakeem Williams, in one of my earlier prediction videos, I actually had him as high as fourth. In the finals on day 2, he was a solid fourth place. There was a 4-man call-out between Hadi, Samson, Rafael, and Hakeem. If we would have brought the kind of package he brought to the finals at prejudging, he would have been a solid fourth, possibly third. The only knock on his physique is his high lats. Other than that, you have wide shoulders, narrow waist, big sweeping quads. Conditioning has been the issue with him for the most part through his career. But he really did. Whatever they did but from Friday to Saturday, they did it right. And it made a hell of a difference in the way he looked and ultimately he placed. He showed that in the smaller shows, he's still a serious threat to win, and he's still dangerous in the big shows. He just needs to bring in the conditioning. Fifth place, James Hollingshead. Didn't bring in quite what I expected going by update picks, but he brought in a good package. Probably his best package to date. I thought at some points he looked a little smooth in some areas, but for the most part, a good solid amount of muscle, good conditioning. His structure is not the greatest, but I said between his conditioning and he has a grainy hardness to his muscle, and he carries a decent amount of size. He earned his fifth place finish. Fourth place, Jonathan De La Rosa. A feel-good story because, like I was talking in a previous video with Antoine, Jonathan De La Rosa has been through a lot of shit. Not the same shit as Antoine, but a lot of shit, and everybody likes him. He's just a generally nice guy. You want to see him do good. He has a great physique. There's nothing missing from him, but there's nothing special about him either. It's just all there. He's another one. An issue throughout his career has been conditioning. Probably brought in his best package to date, like James Hollingshead, and he earned himself a fourth place finish. Congratulations, John. Third place, most people were calling it Rafael Brandau. The added size that he brought after his time off was very noticeable. It didn't affect his shape, and it was still aesthetically pleasing. But he probably could still hold a little more muscle on his frame, and really good conditioning. With the conditioning he brought, if he had a little more muscle on his frame and he's maintained that beautiful shape, we might have seen a couple more call-outs that had Hadi Samson and Raphael. Let's see where he goes from here. I'm sure he's gonna jump in another show. I know he wants to get back to that Olympia. He was already a top 10 Olympian, and he wants to be back there again. Second place, Samson Dowder. If you see my previous videos, I'm a big fan of Samson Dowder, but in ways I'm also a little disappointed here. His best package to date was probably the Prod Pro, which was 2 shows after the Olympia. And throughout, over the last 2 years, he's progressively gotten better show to show to show. And expected again here. Like I said, the Prod Pro was probably his best showing to date before going into the Arnold. Better than the Olympia. He brought in a package pretty much what he brought into the Olympia. So in ways he regressed a little bit. Maybe his body's just worn out. He needs a little break. He's been really, really busy. He's been doing a lot of shows. I don't think he's going to step out of the UK show, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. I think after that, he's going to take a little bit of a break, regroup, and figure out what went wrong. And, well, there's a little bit more about him. I'll get into it when I start talking about Hadi. Well, don't count them out as a threat to win the upcoming Olympia. You never know. Now, as far as Hadi goes, I kind of have egg on my face. I'm eating a little crow over here. Doesn't taste good. In a previous video, I had doubts whether he would regain the Olympia title again. I didn't have a doubt that he would be a threat in the Olympia, but that was my gut feeling. Looking at the package he brought, Samson, who brought Hadi beat Samson at the Olympia. Samson brought pretty much the same package he brought at the Olympia. Hadi brought a lot better package than he had at the Olympia. He was tight. He looked a little bigger. It looked like he made some improvements on his back. And I'm not exactly sure, but I think Samson's 5 inches or close to it taller than Hadi. And when Hadi opened up, he looked just as wide as Samson. Hadi was very, very impressive. And I would say it's safe to say that he firmly positioned himself as the number 1 threat for the Olympia title this year. Like I said in a previous video, I questioned his ability to regain the Olympia title. And I have a totally different feeling about that now, seeing what he brought in. And who knows, he might bring in a better package come Olympia. Exciting news, Arnold made an announcement that this year was bumped from $200,000 up to $300,000. Arnold said next year is going to be $500,000. And let's go through the placings one more time. First place, Hadi Chupan. Second place, Samson Dowder. Third place, Rafael Brandao. Fourth place, Jonathan De La Rosa. Fifth place, James Hollingshead. Sixth place, Akeem Williams. This is Michael Diamond. I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.